Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs pick up their first loss of the preseason, dropping this one 5-1 to the Montreal Canadiens. Sorry. The Toronto Marlies drop this one 5-1 to the Montreal Canadiens. Let's put into perspective why I just said what I just said. Well, first off, Antti Niemi was in net for them. They had Terry Lehkonen, Charles Hudon, Joel Armia, Kotkaniemi. Again, not many big names. Carl Alsner, Sherbak, Jacob De La Rose, Nick Suzuki, Hunter Shinkaruk. Some guys that could possibly make the team, but again, you know, they don't have many big guys out there either. But for the Leafs, Garrett Sparks got the start in this one, and he was terrible. I'll get to why in a second. We had Kapanen, Marinson, Bracco, Lindholm, Borgman, Carrick, Hall, Moore, Grunstrom, Greening, Cracknell, Janssen, Sandin, the Sandman, Dmitry Timashov, Jordan Subban, Pierre Engvall, Adam Brooks, and Josh Juris. So what? I just basically said the fourth line and maybe about one possible defenseman. I mean, that's all we got really in that lineup for the Leafs. The top three lines didn't play, the top two defense core didn't play, and your top two goalies didn't play. It's preseason, guys. That's why these games don't matter. But this was a game you wanted to see if Garrett Sparks, he was going to play the entire game. What could you see? He was terrible. Guys, I continue to say it. He is not a very positionally sound goaltender. Why do I say that? I'm going to put if I'm not mistaken, it was the first goal or the second goal that was a picturesque move of why he is not positionally sound. So one of the Montreal players gets I wouldn't say a breakaway, but he's in tight with the puck. Sparks comes crazy far out of the net, makes the initial save. The puck goes more or less into the corner, but there's a Montreal player right there. But he's way out of the blue paint, not sure why. And all this guy has to do is put in the empty net and it's over. If you're in your blue paint, good stance, ready to go, you make that first save, you slide over, make the rebound, or you smother the puck. But instead, Sparks scrambling, trying to be way over aggressive, makes the initial save, but the rebound, I mean, my goodness, it's pretty much a 4x6 for this guy to shoot at, and he pops it in the empty net. He's scrambling around too much. Again, I'll say it again, it reminds me a lot of James Reimer. He was a guy that flopped quite a bit, you know, and it works sometimes, and that's why Sparks makes a lot of highlight reel saves. But you look at all the positional stops, doesn't really look any different to me. He looks terrible. I'm sorry. That's just what I feel about that. Curtis McElhinney, however, he stays in his paint, makes the save, makes a rebound, or, you know, his defense clears it out, or he's ready for the rebound, or he smothers it. He's very positionally, obviously he's a veteran goalie, so he's been around, he knows what it takes to be a backup. Curtis McElhinney's my guy as the backup, and I think everyone agrees now, after seeing Sparks in his last two games, he hasn't been good because his weaknesses have been exposed. And he lost 5-1 today to pretty much an AHL team. They didn't have Drouin, they didn't have Max Domi. I understand they don't have many other players than that, but they didn't have those two big guns, if you want to call it, for the Montreal Canadiens. Yes, they had a Terry Lehkonen, yes, Kotkaniemi, and all that kind of stuff. But if you're going to be a backup, you're going to have to face guys like that. And if you can't do well against a team like that, I understand your D core isn't the same and your forward core is not the same. I get it. But the simple saves and the positional saves is all you've got to do. And Garrett Sparks, in my eyes, is not an NHL goaltender. He's a great AHL guy because you have more time in the AHL. In the NHL, it's all quick. You see why some players don't transition to the NHL very well. Connor Carrick, great in the AHL. NHL, we haven't really seen anything from him. It's a big difference, and Garrett Sparks, to me, either hasn't shown it or doesn't have it. Now, that's remained to be seen. A goaltender can change at any point in time. He's just got to be better positionally and just not flop around so much. Because when you flop around, in the NHL, players will score on you easily. You know, AHL players probably don't have the precise accuracy, and they will shoot the puck into you. NHL players, they'll find the corners, they'll find the openings. That's my opinion on Garrett Sparks. I will continue to say that Curtis McElhinney is my backup to start the season, no question about it. That's just what I say about that. Offensively, you didn't see much of anything from the Leafs today. Kapanen had the goal. It was a greasy goal from a short angle that hit off Rinat Valiev, former Leaf. I think he probably thought he was playing for the Leafs there, so he put it in the back of the net. No, I'm kidding. But that was really the only goal for the Leafs. I mean, you didn't see a lot of great things out there. Bracco was a -1. Lindholm was a -2. Andres Borgman was a -4. And we heard that Igor Ozianov? I'm going to have to learn his name. It's a very interesting name for a defenseman, the Russian defenseman for the Leafs. It looks like he has pretty much grabbed that right-handed defenseman spot. So that means Connor Carrick pretty much lost his job in preseason. Now, is that true? Will it happen? We'll wait until the rosters get cut down, and we'll wait until opening night and see who's starting. But as of right now, I think he's got the spot. I have not been impressed with Connor Carrick. Borgman hasn't played the greatest. Rosen, I mean, he's been all right, but he's got to really, really, really impress to make that spot. Andrew Nielsen, again, another guy that I don't think is going to make the team at all as of right now. Takes too many penalties, and I don't know. I just don't see him there. Obviously, the young guys, Justin Hall hasn't really been impressive there in the preseason so far. So, who are you going to pick? It's kind of flip a coin, really. But Mike Babcock seems to really, really like, obviously, Oziganov. He loves him. So, he will probably get in the start in Game 1 against Montreal on October 3rd. Will it happen? I don't know. Time will tell. But next up for the Leafs, though, they take on the same Montreal Canadiens. It'll be on Wednesday night, 7:30 puck drop. Is it at the Bell Center? It's at the Bell Center, and most likely, we're going to be seeing some full lineups in there for both teams. Obviously, you want to be able to see who's going to make that roster, and obviously, Oziganov did not play today. Connor Carrick did. Justin Hall did. Interesting. That tells you right there, Mike Babcock kind of has his choices. Now, ideally, after this game against Montreal on Wednesday, there are 2 remaining preseason games, both against Detroit on back-to-backs. So that and then October 3rd, the season gets going, people. We're just about there. I'm jacked up to get this baby going. But Wednesdays, you're going to see the real lineups for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think pretty much the whole roster is going to be out there. So it's going to be very interesting to tell how they all work together, how the new power play units are going to work together, the penalty kills, all that crazy stuff. But I am excited. I know you guys are too. Freddie Anderson, Carey Price, the expected starters, rightfully so, in that game at the Bell Center on Wednesday night. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys just did not enjoy this game whatsoever. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below, guys. What'd you think of the game? What'd you think of Garrett Sparks? Also, with this game today, have you made up your mind with your backup goalie situation? Also, right-hand defenseman spot for that third pair. Who do you got? There's all different kinds of options. Clearly, Mike Babcock might have his favorite, but who's your favorite? I want to hear what you guys have to say, and Evan and I will talk to you guys again sometime this week, podcast edition, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, maybe? I'm not too sure, guys. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below as well. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow, Jays edition, as they look to even up the series against the Houston Astros at Rogers Center, 7:07 first pitch. Sam Gaviglio against, John James? No. Jason James? No. Oh my goodness. Jonathan James? John James? Look at that, guys. See, that's what happens. Josh James, the only J that I missed. He's on the mound for the Houston Astros. Sam Gaviglio for the Jays, 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center. And as for the Leafs, they play their third last game of the preseason on Wednesday night as they take on the Montreal Canadiens at the Bell Center, 7:30 puck drop. As the Leafs look to get back in the win column and go 5-1 so far in preseason and see some good things from pretty much the NHL roster. It's going to be a lot of fun on Wednesday night. We'll talk to you guys then.